Get ready to enter the Thrivetime Show. 3, 2, 1, boom!
Bada bing, bada boom. It's the Thrivetime Show in your room, in your car, wherever you are. It's the Thrivetime Show on your radio or podcast download. My name is Clay Clark. I'm the former USSBA Entrepreneur of the Year. I'll be serving as your host during this week's Thrivetime Show workshop. Just to give you a little progression, we have said we've had over 1,200 people write reviews about their experience at our workshops on iTunes or Google or YouTube. And so people from all over the world are starting to fly out to our workshops. And so we have been sold out on Friday, but I talked to Z and I talked to my wife, Vanessa, and we're actually bringing in more seating, and we're going to move things around just a little bit. It shouldn't compromise the experience, but before we hopped into the studio today, we had room for 4 more people. So if nothing else, you might want to just go to thrivetimeshow.com and try to buy a ticket and see if it tells you whether we're sold out or not. Because if you buy one, you might get in first. So I'd encourage you to buy your tickets today by going to thrivetimeshow.com. It starts at 7 a.m. now, and it goes until 3 p.m., from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., and it's at the Jinx Riverwalk. And we're going to start off covering time management and really getting the right mindset, your goals. Then we move from time management and mindset into branding, the specifics, the tactics, the strategies that work. Then we're going to teach you the millionaire mindset towards marketing. We're going to teach you the specific moves for selling. Then we go from selling into customer service because you got to take care of the customer. Then we're going to teach you how to build linear workflows. Then we're going to teach you how to, it's crazy. We're going to teach you financial planning, accounting, leadership, management. It's all there. If you've ever struggled to hire somebody, fire somebody, get the capital you need, learn how to sell more, improve the sales process, digital advertising, and you get your tickets right now for free by just going to Thrivetime Show on iTunes. So search for Thrivetime Show on iTunes and subscribe, and then leave us an objective review there. And when you leave us an objective review, we're going to go ahead and send you 2 free tickets and 2 copies of the Boom Book. So again, go to Thrivetime Show on iTunes, subscribe to the podcast, leave us an objective review, and then send us your contact information to info@thrivetimeshow.com, and I'm going to give you 2 free tickets. And again, if for some reason we're already sold out, I will make sure you get that credited towards our next workshop. And I think the next one's not until, April?
April, yeah.
In April. So, again, this is a game-changing event. It's this Friday, this Saturday. Serious like a heart attack. It will change your life. We got exotic cars.
You know what I'm excited about? I'm excited about the fact that we got some live music. And in the past conferences, even just with the music overhead, we literally have had people dancing in the aisles, just having a good time.
People from New York, Long Island people.
Team New York.
Long Island ladies.
They came up, we're just dancing and having a great time. I'm super excited to see what happens with an actual live band. Captain Hook, Merton for certain, he's going to be there. So it's going to be a great time. If you haven't got your tickets yet, get on Thrivetime Show and get them. Let's get out there and meet us so we can help you out.
So here is our next topic. We had a Thriver that emailed, and they said, what are some of the beliefs that you have that most people think are crazy? Well,
oh boy.
Based upon that question, I am now going to probably irritate 60% of our audience all at one time. And so just go with, because the question was asked. It didn't say, Clay, what's a politically correct thing that you should say that would make the audience happy? The question was, what are some of the beliefs that you believe that most people think are crazy? So the first one, I believe that lazy people are literally being punished by God and should not be assisted. So I'm going to give you an example. Wow, that's pretty harsh, bro. So Proverbs 10:4 states, lazy hands make for poverty. Lazy hands make for poverty. Now, what book is that written in? The Bible. Is that book supposed to be divinely crafted? Is that book supposed to be inspired by God? Is it supposed to be infallible? Is the Bible, Judeo-Christians out there listening, is the Bible supposed to be the literal book inspired by Christ and infallible? If I'm wrong here, then you tell me. So the book says, the good book says, lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. So lazy hands make poverty. So here's the thing. If you want to violate God's rules, like if you score a touchdown, you get 6 points. That's the rules. If a guy gets to the 1 yard line and doesn't score, and you want to run onto the field and give him 6 points anyway, are you not violating the rules to the game? So I ask you, if you help lazy people out financially, are you not breaking God's laws? You are, because that's how it works. So if your team's behind in a football game and they get to the 1 yard line and you give them 6 points, you're violating the rules, right? So again, if the speed limit is 65 and you're a police officer and you pull somebody over for going 75 and you decide not to give them a ticket, you're violating what? The laws. So again, it says lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. Now, the people that can help themselves, this applies to. The people who cannot help themselves, Proverbs 22:9 states, the generous will help themselves, or it says the generous will themselves be blessed, for they share their food with the poor. So what does that mean? I used to work with a kid named Adam, and Adam had Down syndrome. I worked with Adam for a year. I also worked with a kid named Chris Nelson. Chris Nelson passed away, and he had muscular dystrophy. I worked with Chris for 2 years. And do you know why I worked with Chris for 2 years? Because I went to high school. And when I went to high school, I was a young kid, people made fun of me because I stuttered until 6th grade and 7th grade. And so I decided in high school, I wanted to spend my time that I had free with a kid with cerebral palsy. Why? Because nobody was nice to the stuttering kid. And so I did it. And then eventually I found out the state of Oklahoma, or state of Minnesota, had a thing called the home health program, where they could pay you to watch a kid because they need 24/7 care. And so I actually spent almost my entire, I'm not kidding, I didn't go out one time with anybody my entire junior year of high school because I was with Chris and I was with Adam. And do you know why I did it? Because they can't help them freaking selves. They need help. That's who needs help. You want to help somebody? Go to a nursing home. You want to help somebody? Help a kid who can't help themselves. You want to help somebody? Don't give money to your freaking lazy son who refuses to do their freaking job. Punt them off the couch. Quit violating God's laws. They're losing because they're terrible. They deserve the hardship, and the hardship will teach them that it's easier to be diligent. You want to ruin your kid's life? Go ahead and keep giving them handouts. Just keep saying, oh, it's okay. You can live with us until you figure out what you want to do. Yeah, you're going to be an idiot. You're an entitled idiot. So don't do it. Now, if you don't like the Bible, and I'm sure that, everybody likes the Bible, but if you don't, Elon Musk says, his little tip, he kind of agrees with Proverbs, although he's an atheist. He says, work like hell. I mean, you just have to put in 80 to 100 hours per week. This improves your odds of success. If other people are putting in 40-hour weeks and you're putting in 100-hour weeks, then even if you're doing the same thing, then you know that you will achieve in 4 months what it takes for them to achieve in a year. Who's Elon Musk? Oh, he built a little company called Tesla that didn't make a profit for 10 years. Who's Elon Musk? Oh, he built a little company called PayPal for 3 years. Who's Elon Musk? Oh, he built a little thing, called SpaceX that's now making rockets that go to space and can return and land and be reusable. He's replacing NASA. Who's Elon Musk? Oh, he's changing the way we do energy. Solar City's now the largest solar power grid in the world. Oh, he's a little guy, I don't know, who's changing the world. So how come he has time to do it? How come I don't have time to do it? Well, because I'm on Facebook for 2 hours a day, and I watch TV for 5 hours a day, according to the New Yorker. We'll put that on the show notes. The average American watches 5 hours a day of TV and 2 hours of social media, so you really don't have time to be successful. So if you want to ruin somebody's life, go help a lazy person. If you want to help your life, stay tuned as Charles Kolaw breaks down this next concept of working more than 40 hours if you want to get ahead. It's the Thrivetime Show on your radio. Yes, sir. It's Z and Clay, broadcasting from the box in the 918. Business school in the topic today. Check the syllabus, it's getting you paid. Making the business boom is what we do. You can do it, let us show you.
Get ready to enter the Thrivetime Show. 3, 2, 1, boom!
Aw, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the conversation. A question was emailed, and I don't know if you want to know the answer to it, but the question was emailed. Clay Clark, what are some of the beliefs that you have that most people think are crazy? Belief number one that I just shared with you, I'm sure that was a blasty blast for some of you. The second one is the concept of the 40-hour work week has condemned most people to a life of poverty and is yet another violation of God's laws. Pretty strong claim. Let's see if I can back it with something. And if you read Genesis chapter 1 and 2, just read it for a second. God created the earth. He did this. He did that. Boom, boom, boom. How many days did it take him? 6. So if you read the Bible and you believe it to be the literal, infallible word of God, it's supposed to what? Show patterns, right? So why did it say God created the earth in 6 days and he rested on the 7th? I don't know. I probably just random, I guess, right? Okay, how about Exodus 34:21, where it says directly, 6 days you shall labor. Who's saying that, by the way? God. Who's saying that? God. Who is saying, I'm going to read it to you again. 6 days you shall labor, but on the seventh you shall rest. Even during the plowing season and harvest, you must rest. Who is saying that you should work 6 days? Who's saying that? If you're a Judeo-Christian, God. Really? Isn't that interesting how God said we're supposed to work 6 days in Genesis and in Exodus? Now let's move on to 1938, because in 1938 God updated the Bible, right? He did in 1938. Wasn't that when God hired FDR? Isn't that when God talked to Franklin Delano Roosevelt, a pseudo-socialist, and said, "Hey, FDR, could you update the Bible for me?" And he says, "Sure, God. I'm inspired by God." So in 1938, FDR decided to write the, because the Bible, right? You can
Third
add,
Testament.
I think the Bible, you can add things to it. Is that how it works? No, it isn't. But the Bible, so he went ahead and added on to the Bible this little thing in 1938. This wonderful
Third Testament.
heretic. It's a strong word, but if you say something that's against God's laws and you preach it like it's supposed to happen, then I have a problem with that. So 1938, he says, the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938. United States labor law that creates the right to a minimum wage and the time and a half overtime when people work more than 40 hours. The problem is that to be successful as an entrepreneur, I have never met and will never meet any entrepreneur who's ever worked less than 80 hours a week. 80 hours a week.
It actually caps you.
So you're screwed.
It's a purpose. I think it's almost like it's set up to kind of keep you in your place.
So I'm going to, if you read... I just encourage you to do your research on FDR, and you will actually discover that he actually created a welfare program that was designed to keep a certain race of people dependent upon the government.
Boom.
Because he didn't like those people. I don't know if you're aware of that. It was part of his plan. He didn't like a certain people group. Do your own research, and you'll find it. And he actually said, and there's verification from multiple sources, that he actually wanted to enslave a group of people on their government checks because he knew they would all live together in a thing called the projects. I don't know if you know these things. So he actually wanted you to become dependent because you would always vote for who? Santa Claus, the guy giving you the free stuff. I don't know if that's a knowledge bomb for somebody, but that's a real thing. So, Charles, I want to get your take on this, and Eric Chupp. I'll take the politics out of it. Have you ever met somebody, Charles, who's built a successful company, including yourself, that when starting it worked less than 50 hours a week?
Never. I have never seen anybody. And
really?
I've had several. I've trained probably over 5,000 people, and many of those have been multimillionaire type people. Nobody has ever been successful. And actually,
nobody.
The happiest people I've ever met are the ones that work their freaking butt off serving others. God created us to love others, serve others. And anybody who's doing something that they're passionate about and doing it 40, 50, 60, actually, the more they do it, the more excited they get. It's like running a race. When you get ahead of everybody, it actually makes you more encouraged to run faster.
And then when you win, you feel great.
Yes.
And you want to do it again.
And God, I really, truly believe, like if you look at like rock concerts, people are throwing their hands up and they're worshiping. They're actually putting their hands up and worshiping something. Go to like any concert, but any like a football event, like the Super Bowl, we all want to watch and serve and bow. And the more that we do stuff, and God created us to serve others. And when you serve others, you actually get excited about it. But anyways, the whole thing is I've never seen anybody succeed doing 40 hours a week. I actually think that the whole mindset between 40 hours a week is a purposeful limit to handcuff us.
I really think that if you want to work 40 hours a week, the word damn, D-A-M-N, I want to give you that word damn. I just want to make sure that you understand the word damn means. A lot of times it's said and people don't know what it means. The word damn means to be condemned by God to suffer eternal punishment in hell. So damn is like hell. So you're not damned if you don't, because you're not going to go to hell as a result of working 40 hours a week. Okay, you still get salvation, but on earth you will lose, and your business will be terrible, and your life will be terrible, and you will deserve the poverty that you get as a result of not sowing the seeds. Now, Chupp, this is the thing. Let's say that somebody has listened to this and they go, "That's a pretty controversial one." Do you have any more controversial thoughts? Well, the question was, what are some of the beliefs that you have that most people think are crazy? This third belief is that those that over-deliver will rule the world, and those that don't won't. Those that over-deliver will rule the world, and those that don't won't. Can you break it down what it means to over-deliver, Chupp?
Yeah, it means to go above and beyond. That's one of Z's 5 A's, right, that he looks for in team members or employees. going above and beyond what
Above and beyond.
need to do. So I do this personally in my life when I work with you, Clay, is like we've talked about this on the show in the past. I'm not an owner of Thrive, but I treat what I do as though I was. I treat what I do as though I was, because I know I'm watching. We always say God is watching, work unto the Lord. I know that I'm watching myself. I want to do the best that I can do.
Every partner that I have is somebody that I've approached as a result of them working hard. All of them.
Why would you do anything else? That's what I was getting at.
That's why Andy Mather and I want to team up to do the limo company, because he's diligent. He's a diligent doer.
He had a successful career, up to this point, and so
watched it.
It's really a mindset, and it's how you get ahead in life. If you over-deliver, there's a law of reciprocity. If I do something for you, it gives you the feeling that you need to do something back for me.
So here is where I'm going to leave you. 2 more notable quotables. Colossians 3:23. Pretty heavy-handed on the Bible today, buddy. It says, "Whatever you do, work at it with all of your heart as working for the Lord and not for human masters." Notable quotable from Napoleon Hill. He says, "You can start right where you stand and apply the habit of going the extra mile by rendering more service and better service than for which you are paid." The point is, if you go to thrivetimeshow.com and you book a ticket to our workshop, we have a scholarship program. So if you can't afford it, we'll meet you halfway. We'll meet you 3/4 of the way. The tickets are $99 a piece, but you got to try to buy it. If you can't afford it, just tell us. We'll bridge the gap. But I promise you, it's a money-back guarantee. I promise you, when you get there, I'm not working for you. Not working for anybody. Not working for the man. Not working for the government. Not working for goals.
Weekend.
I'm not working for anybody. I'm working as unto the Lord.
Yep.
So I'm going to do the very best that I can do, and that's all I can do. So I'm going to do the very best. And that people tell me all the time, they say, I feel like watching you do the workshop, your passion for the subjects, the passion for the topics, the passion for the thing you went over, was kind of like a pastor. Like, I feel like that this is like what you're called to do. And I said, yeah, well, check it out. The word vocation means calling. The word vacation means to retreat from. I don't ever want to go on a vacation because I have found my vocation.
Yep.
So for me, every single day is a great day because I know my calling. And I believe that you might just be called to book a ticket at thrivetimeshow.com. We have 4 tickets left for this Friday's conference. Buy your tickets today at thrivetimeshow.com. Once again, that's thrivetimeshow.com. Stay tuned. Yes, sir. It's Z and Clay, broadcasting from the box in the 918. Business school and the topic today.
3, 2, 1, boom! Broadcasting live from the center of the universe. Presenting the world's only business school without the BS. With optometrist and entrepreneur Dr. Robert Zellner and USSBA Entrepreneur of the Year, Clay Clark. Get ready to enter the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170.
Yes, sir. It's Z and Clay, broadcasting from the box in the 918. Business school and the topic today. Check the syllabus, it's getting you paid. Making the business boom is what we do. You can do it that much. All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the conversation. It's the Thrivetime Show on your radio, the show that's all about you. And specifically, the entire reason why you'd want to build a successful company is so you'd have the time freedom and financial freedom to do things that you feel called to do, right? That's the whole point. The business is just a vehicle to get you where you want to go. And so we had a Thriver who emailed us a tough question. They said, what are some of the beliefs that you have that most people think are crazy? I would just say, overall, every belief I have is countercultural. Like, pretty much every belief I have is countercultural, which is why my success is countercultural. I mean, everything that I believe and do is very eccentric because the centric isn't working. The centric, the average American has less than $400 saved. The average American, according to Gallup, 70%, I don't know if you know this, 70%, and Shep will put the notes on there, 70% of people, according to Gallup, hate their jobs. 70. That's 7 out of 10. The majority of married Americans report not having a happy marriage. The majority of Americans have less than $400 saved. And I love my wife. I love my job. I love the people I work with because I do stuff like fire customers that are antagonistic, fire employees that are antagonistic. I don't put up with people that don't share my values. My businesses are closed on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for Thrive because I want my team to have that time. We do get to work a lot of times at 4 a.m. We have a workshop once a month that we often don't charge for if people can give us a review because we want to give everybody a chance to attend. We do an unbelievable amount of volunteer hours as a team. I mean, think about it. They're basically working a workshop for you, in many cases without compensation because they want to help you. I might bring my kids to work every day. I'm obsessed with America. I believe the Constitution is a great document. I believe that independence requires individual responsibility. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in our country. I believe very strongly in a strong military, a big stick. You won't have to use it, hopefully. I believe in the Bible to be a literal, infallible word of God. I just have a lot of beliefs. I believe in like homeschooling. I don't know that there's much that I believe that everybody else believes. So I'm just giving you the top 5 here, okay? So the final 4, the final 2 moves the final 2 things that I believe that very few other people believe is 4. It's not about my 4th idea. It's not about ideas. It's about the execution of ideas. So your big new business ideas, it's great, but it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's just the beginning point. The second belief I want to share with you, the final belief, is if you are lazy, you're worse than an unbeliever in God's eyes. So wake up and decide to live before you die. And that's a pretty harsh thing to say, so I thought, well, I should probably give you some Bible verses. So 1 Timothy 5:8 states, anyone who does not provide for their relatives, especially for their household, has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. Did you just check that? Like, you're worse than an unbeliever if you don't have a job? Yes. Get to work, you lazy ass. Get up. Go. Get a freaking job. Go. Start sweeping a sidewalk. Get your ass up. Get a job. I'm not kidding. That's a problem. Second verse here. I'm so sorry. I'm going to hot take. I'm coming right back to you.
Keep going.
Proverbs. Those who work their hand will have an abundant food, but those who chase fantasies have no sense. I guess I need an interpreter. I don't know what that means. The third one. Diligent hands will rule, but lazy ends in forced labor. Proverbs 12:24. The final one, Proverbs 14:23. Pretty heavy-handed with the Bible verses. It says, all hard work brings a profit, but merely talk leads to poverty. So I'm going to kind of tee it up, create kind of a cluster of crazy. I'm going to see you at the Thrivetime Show workshop on Friday, but now I literally at this very moment have to leave right now, Chup, to take my son to go watch my daughters compete in a cheerleading event, which I've been told from my wife is not gymnastics. So I'm going to go watch
negotiable
a cheerleading event while you two guys take
Let's do it.
Take it. Okay, so I'm going to throw it to you, Chup. You're in charge. Hopefully things don't blow up.
All right, here we go.
Boom.
So, Charles, you were going to jump in just a second ago. Go ahead and let us know what you're saying.
I was just going to say that I truly believe that God has created us to, serve others and actually work and do things. Every person I know that is actually doing something that they could use their time that God has gifted them with and given them a desire to do, that they love their life and they love doing it. A lot of the ones that I meet that don't have any type of like focus or purpose and they want something handed to them for free, they're very, very sad. They're not happy. There's a guy that I trained probably 15 years ago, military guy, a veteran guy, and he is on disability now. But anyways, I saw him at Walmart and I said, hey, how you been? I haven't seen you in forever. He's like, oh, hey, Charles. And I go, what's going on? Because he's now in a wheelchair and he's slowed way down. Well, the whole takeaway was he's like, well, I'm on disability now. I've got this really great idea. And he got all excited about it and told me about his idea because he can do this computer thing. He can help all these people and he thinks he can make good money. But he's afraid he'll lose his $1,500 disability check. And I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
It's handcuffed that the actual disability check has left him in a spot where he's not going to prosper. I was like, who cares about the disability check? Go do that. You're so smart. You're so skilled. You're so driven. Go do that. And it's kind of, so my whole thing is people that generally work, have a job, are happier.
Yeah.
And the people that don't are unhappy. And so when you know that you're serving, that God is giving you the skill set or this ability, and you serve, you actually love your life, you love what you do, and you get compensated for it because God created us to serve.
You are on a roll right now. I love where you're going. I want to ask you a question as a fitness expert. So we're talking about if you're lazy, you're worse than an unbeliever, okay? What are some just quick tips you could give somebody that maybe they're feeling lazy? I believe, I could be wrong, you tell me if I'm wrong, but your diet, your sleep patterns, your exercise, what you do really does all add up to the amount of laziness you have in your life. So do you have any tips you could give people? Hey, I feel like, man, I am kind of that lazy guy. What's some things that you found in your life or that you've had clients do that you can see, man, I've got energy levels now. I actually feel like getting up and doing this stuff.
Well, as a trainer, you're kind of like a life coach.
Right.
And what you have to do is kind of prioritize and time block each person's life. So every 3 hours in a person's day, I'll tell them, I say, we have to eat every 3 hours. You know, we've got 6 meals a day, and every 3 hours you put all your events in between that. Your life now revolves around your nutrition plan.
Gotcha.
Apex, 24-Hour Fitness, NASM, Cooper Institute. I've got 8 national certifications as a trainer. I'm certified in dietary guidance and nutrition. I mean, anything, in every place you go to around the country says 70 to 80% of your success is dictated by how you eat. And also, too, mental clarity, focus, drive, energy, all comes from your fuel. And so I said, number one, if this is the first thing, prepare the meals the night before. Prepare the meals.
Take action. Be proactive. Don't wait.
The meals.
Something's going to happen. You're not going to be able to find your cat in the morning. You're not going to. The water's going to.
Yes.
Something will happen in the morning.
Something will screw up your day.
Right.
But if you've got all your meals, you've got 3 meals packed, you got 2 shakes packed, it's in a lunch container, it's ready to go. You wake up in the morning, you grab it out of there, and you're ready to go. You got all your food planned for the day. You're under $10 to $12 a day for your whole day's
That's
food.
huge. That's huge.
All of it's healthy. You're going to get leaner, stronger, healthier. Your mental clarity's good. Energy's good. So that's set up for success. So prepare your meals the night before. And then every 3 hours, you're slotting in, you're time blocking all your tasks.
Okay.
So now before you go to bed, every night you got your food planned, you got a workout set up, and you got all your events set up every 3 hours. Your fuel's right, your energy's right, everything you've now mastered. And so I've trained over 5,000 clients in my life. And so I tell them exactly what to do, what time to do it, how much water to drink, time block it with them, walk them through and give them a day-by-day journal.
That proactive plan.
And then I hold them accountable. I sign for every day, and every other day we meet, and I go through that. So when you take full control, I say, here's the deal. Well, how about you just keep doing what you're doing on your own? Or you give me the driver's seat.
Right.
Give
By
me the
default, we know what's happening.
So, okay, I'm a self-made millionaire in my early 20s doing fitness, okay? Nobody gave me money.
Right.
I go, I've lived it, breathed it, and I train it. I love it. And so when I can take somebody and coach them through that, in the next 6 months, they lose 50, 60 pounds and they're in the best shape of their life.
Right.
That's awesome. And then they also say, well, marriage is better. This is better. That's better. Well, because
My life is better.
Yeah, I'm trying to help them make better life choices. And so it's like the word righteousness, right choice living. Like,
wow. Say that again.
Yeah. Righteousness, the word righteousness. I say it's right choice living.
I love it.
And a lot of it's, I can say it's the healthy no. You got to say the healthy no's in life to so many things so you get to say the healthy yeses in life. You know, I lived in a $115,000 house for 15 years, and then I bought almost a $2 million house. So I went from a $115,000 house to almost a $2 million house. And it's because of delayed gratification.
Right.
So you want to make smart choices to do that kind of thing. And you never get there on a 40-hour work week. You're never going to get there, having some hope or dream and not taking action. But God has created us to serve, and the more that you serve with what you believe that you're passionate about, you can work more than 40 hours a week, and you get excited about it, and you want to grind on it.
Speaking of taking action, Thrive Nation, we've got 4 ways we can help you, right? We've got the podcast. We've got the online business school. We have the in-person workshops, and we have one that's coming up this Friday and Saturday, so get those tickets if you haven't got them. We've got a couple spots left. We're making some extra room. So and then we have the in-person one-on-one business coaching. That's the 4th way. So, Charles, any parting last words? You got about 15 seconds. What's your one thing? Take action. How do you make yourself take action?
If you guys are listening to this and you feel like a little tug on your heart, to say, hey, I probably really need to surround myself with that type of stuff. It's basically you're going to say, go there, sign up, get going.
Get going, okay? And on that, 3, 2, 1,
boom.
Yes, sir. It's Z and Clay, broadcasting from the box in the 918. Business school and the topic today. Check the syllabus.